Hey guys, so I've tried to make this video a couple times, so I'm going to try to keep it simplistic and try to sum up this first part because I've tried putting it in the middle and the end and it doesn't really work. Basically, it is this. My feeling about whales is I don't really care. I've never really met a whale. I've never talked to a whale. You know what I mean. I haven't had one over to dinner. You know what I'm saying. I don't really have much connection to whales. Now, having said that, can I understand why people will be connected, have feelings about whales? Yeah, I have feelings about my pets, dogs especially, named Oscar and Keisha. You've seen them in videos if you watch my channel. Literally have a video with them wearing masks. Literally made it yesterday. That's not serving society at all. That's irrational. I recognize that. That is completely irrational. But having said that, do I watch that video? Yes, I love that video. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of put it up for myself. Now, why didn't I put it on private? I don't know. I guess I really should with those videos. But that's a whole nother conversation. But because I'm irrational about dogs, I can understand why some people will be irrational in the same sense about whales. You follow? What I'm saying is people get emotionally attached to animals, perhaps irrationally, though. That's all I'm saying. Now, do I have that same irrational connection to whales? No. And that's what I'm trying to explain now. And that's basically it. Okay, you got it? Okay. Going to try to move on to that because that was, I tried saying that earlier and I watched it and it did not make any sense. Hopefully that one did. Anyway, I'll watch it again to make sure. So let's talk about Whale Wars. Finally, I know you're like, why did that take so long? So Whale Wars. It is on its 4th season, I believe, and it basically deals with an organization called Sea Shepherd, which is an anti-whaling organization. It was started originally as a splinter organization to Greenpeace, founded by one of the founders of Greenpeace, Paul Watson, and it basically focuses on his attempts to end whaling. Now, why is the show interesting? Also, the main protagonist, I guess, in the show, or how it's presented, the main protagonist, I guess I should say, is the whaling fleet, which is based in Japan. And, of course, you know, I feel very sorry about what happened in Japan. I'm pretty sure this next season is shot prior to the events that have taken place in Japan. You know, Godspeed, or I hope whatever is being done in Japan works out. I really do. I worry about them. You know what I mean? Especially radiation. But I'm getting off topic. Anyway, it basically focuses on the conflict between these two organizations. You know, the Japanese whalers try to whale, and then the Sea Shepherd tries to basically prevent it. And what's interesting about the show is that you see that in most shows, they show how direct action does not work. Usually it shows how the system works, or if you're going to use direct action, just being there or bearing witness or saying something usually is enough. Or some very peaceful form of protest is enough to prevent, to break through. You follow? Now, this has been popularized. I understand it. It's just what you see a lot of the time. If you see anything about protesting activities or change in the system taking place. And I use the system just because it's the only word that I think kind of embodies this, that's easy, that everybody kind of knows. Anyway, now what kind of actions do they... In this show, though, they show you the other side. How direct action, or actual non-passive, non-systematic, you know, working your way peacefully up the system works, and show how it actually gets results. Now, what kind of actions do they do, or should get results, I guess. I don't know if they've ended whaling. I guess not. They're in season 4. Anyway, what kind of actions do they do? They ram ships. They throw old butter, I guess. They shoot flares at the whalers. Occasionally, this is what the Sea Shepherd organization does. They sometimes board the ships, and they kind of just harass the ships, really. They sometimes use small boats to do these actions. Sometimes they use big boats. They have usually a helicopter on board. Sometimes it functions, sometimes it doesn't. Last season they had 3 boats. One of them which was very fast, but it got rammed and broke up. Anyway, that's kind of their actions. But they basically show how this actually prevents whaling. How this actually gets results, which is a very interesting thing because it's so rarely seen, especially in just on television. You know, you have to kind of look for it. When I first found the show, I was like, I've never seen somebody, you know, this side being presented where direct action actually works, you know, on television. It's hard to think of it. Now, the other interesting factor about the show is that they take it one step further in that you are embedded with the Sea Shepherd. Not only are you seeing that these actions that they are doing are, you know, getting results, which, you know, I use that term loosely. Basically, you don't see that much whaling going on, you know. At least last season, I don't think you did. Anyway, so having where was I? Anyway, they basically put you in the perspective of a member on the ship, or on the ships, I guess, because there's more than one. And they basically, most of what you hear, most of what you see is what Sea Shepherd kind of would want you to see. And it's an interesting look inside an organization that is organized on willing participants, because Sea Shepherd does not hire a crew. They instead rely on volunteers, which is a very interesting concept for running a ship. Why is this an interesting concept, and why would you do this? Because it demonstrates and creates a lot of loyalty to the head admiral, I guess. It's an interesting idea that they use, and it's weird to see how. It's kind of creepy to see how the organization really functions almost on a cult of personality. Anyway, you should watch the show if you haven't, to understand what I'm saying. I can't really demonstrate what I'm saying exactly. But when they do present the other side, it's very limited, and the amount of time they get, and they also usually only send out press reports if they're going to cover it. Like if some action happens, they basically show up press reports. Now, what did the Japanese do in response? Well, they set up netting. They try to ram on occasion. They have water cannon sound weapons, I guess. I don't know exactly what you want to call them. They ram, they net. They don't really do that much, actually. They broke a ship in half, I guess, which, you know, they claim is an accident, but Sea Shepherd says it isn't. You can watch the video. It's on YouTube, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's kind of the show in a nutshell. And the reason why it's interesting, I'll just reiterate, it's primarily interesting because it's dealing with an organization that is using actions that are usually considered bad or wrong to get what they want. One other thing that's really interesting is a lack of state control in the Antarctic, which I guess would make sense. You know, who's going to send down cops to the Antarctic? You know what I mean? It's a lot of money, and I don't think anybody really technically has jurisdiction. So, you know, it's weird to see how you can actually get away with these actions. You know, you can throw butter on the ship, and there's not, you know, much the Japanese can do. They've been trying to do actions, of course, but nothing seems to have been catching on. So far, at least, it seems. Or else they would have ended the Sea Shepherd organization by now, you'd think. So yeah, that's basically the organization in a nutshell. Once again, thank you for watching. If don't worry, if you're into those pet videos, I'm sure I'll put up another video with my dog in it. I'm just saying, Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, rate. I guess that's basically it. I hope that this video works because I'm going to watch it and then I got to go to bed soon. I got work in the morning. Anyway, that's it. Bye.